Guys, already we have covered a database storage layer and then a query processing layer. Let me repeat that once. See, storage layer, storage component of the Snowflake. To load the data will be stored in the continuous micropartitions. Continuous micropartitions. Continuous micropartitions in a compressed and then optimizer way. Already I explained what is the meaning of micropartition. Size of the each micropartition is 500 MB. Okay, data will be stored in columnar format. Okay, both structured and then semi-structured files you can files data you can store in the Snowflake storage layer. So that is all about the storage layer we discussed. Query processing layer. This layer is hardware resources to the Snowflake to load the data, to process the data, to process the IO request. Hardware resources are required. Hardware resources are required. Okay. Completely, this query processing layer contains the virtual compute warehouses. Virtual compute warehouses. Virtual compute warehouses. These are the hardware resources in the Snowflake. There is no physical components for the hardware resources. They have provided the hardware resources in virtually. How we are going to create a table, database schema, like that we are going to create the virtual warehouses. How we are going to create the other objects. Can create the multiple warehouse in a Snowflake based on the requirement. As I mentioned earlier, in the Snowflake, hardware resources are not shared hardware resources. Those are the independent hardware resources. You have a 20 projects, 20 team in your projects, you can able to create the 20 virtual warehouses and allocate each virtual warehouse to individual team so that individual team can be access their own virtual warehouses. So this is about the query processing layer. Let's talk about the cloud service layer. Guys, uh, cloud service layer is the topmost layer in the Snowflake. Without this cloud service layer is we can't able to do anything. I will tell you why the cloud service layer is the topmost layer and the important layer in the Snowflake. Very first thing, as a user, if you are trying to log in into the Snowflake account, the very first check is done by the cloud service layer, whether the user is valid user or not. The provided credentials are valid credentials or not. Everything the user level and then authentication access level, everything checked by the cloud service layer only. Whenever the valid user is trying to log in into the Snowflake account, then only this cloud service layer will allow you to log in into the Snowflake account. That user level access and then authentication access will be accessed by the will be checked by the cloud service layer only. Guys, have you got this point or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Second thing is whenever the user is submitting IO request to the IO request in the Snowflake account, what is the meaning of IO request, guys?
Yeah, input out.
What is the meaning of IO request?
Yeah, input output requirement.
Yeah, input output. See, whenever the user is submitting IO request, nothing but I am a user to the Snowflake account. I am a developer. I am working with the Snowflake account. Whenever I submit SQL code to read the data from the Snowflake data warehouse, the very first thing is cloud service layer will accept the input IO request from the user, and this cloud service layer responsibilities, it will accept the IO request and it will parse, it will check the IO request. The very first thing is cloud service layer will parse the entire your query. Nothing but it will check whether the provided SQL query is valid or not. The mentioned objects are available or not. Everything it will parse. Whenever the query is valid, then it will pass. Cloud service layer will pass that IO request to the query processing layer. In the query processing layer, we will be having a cache memory. In this cache memory, we'll be having a recently executed queries results. In a cache memory, we will be having a recently executed queries results. Whatever you have submitted IO request, that IO request related, if result is available in the cache memory, in this query processing layer, that result will pass to the cloud service layer. This cloud service layer will return the data to return the result to the end user. If the result is not available, in the query processing layer, then that request will be passed to the database storage layer, where your actual tables are available in the Snowflake. From those tables, data will be returned, and then this result will be returned to the cloud service layer. This cloud service layer will return the result to the end user. Nothing but cloud service layer responsibility, complete responsibility to receive the IO request and then to return the result to the end user. This is clear, guys. This part is clear.
Yes, sir.
Others.
Yes,
Others.
sir.
Yeah. Next. Whenever user is trying to load the data into the Snowflake account, the first thing is cloud service layer will accept the request, data load request. Whenever the user is initiated the data load request and user is trying to load the data into the Snowflake tables, this cloud service layer will take care of the end-to-end responsibility. Whenever the data load is completed, then it will store the entire data. It will store the entire data to the Snowflake tables. In between, if data request is failed, partially data is loaded, entire data is not loaded, then this cloud service layer will take care to revert back all those transactions, whatever the records are inserted in between. Nothing but if the request is incompleted in between, whatever the partially data is inserted, that is not meaningful. Hence, this cloud service layer will take care to revert back all the inserted data. If the data request is completed successfully without any issues, this completely all the data is going to save into the Snowflake tables. This point is clear, guys, or no? Say yes or no. Guys, clear?
If it is successful, then only it will go to table. Otherwise, it won't go to table.
Yeah, if it is successful, then only the data will be stored into the tables. Due to some XYZ reason, if the data load request is incomplete in between, then it will not insert all the data. It will take care to revert back already inserted data, because few records are inserted and few records are not inserted. So the data is not completed, so that is not any meaningful data, so that it is going to revert back. Make sense?
Yes, sir. But if few records, suppose wrong data, if we load, that also will fully it will roll back or.
Yeah, that's what. See, suppose you have 1 millions of records, you have initiated data load. Out of that 1 million records, 20K records are inserted. Due to the some reason, your session is closed. The data request is not completed. So in that scenario, whatever the records are inserted, those are not meaningful, because other records also need to load. Then only records are meaningful. Yes or no?
Okay, sir.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is other responsibility of cloud service layer. Next, this cloud service layer will take care everything the security part. That is nothing but, as I mentioned, it will check the, suppose I am a user, I logged in into the, I will log in into the Snowflake account. According to the privileges I have, this cloud service layer will allow you to perform the activities in the Snowflake account. What is the meaning of privileges, guys? Tell me.
So permission.
Permission, yes. What type of permission I have? Read permission or write permission? According to that, it will allow. According to that, it will allow to perform the activities in the Snowflake account. The security part it will take, and also this cloud service layer will take care about the to maintain the metadata tables in the Snowflake. What is metadata tables, guys? What is the meaning of metadata tables?
Data about data.
Yeah, suppose as a user, if you create any database, if you create any tables, that tables related data and the database related data will be maintained in the metadata tables when the table is created, who is created, when this table is modified, who is modified. So those kind of details will be written into the metadata tables. Those metadata tables will be maintained by this cloud service layer only. So this is about the Snowflake architecture, guys. For sure, you will get the 1 or 2 questions in the interview on the Snowflake architecture. Guys, what I am thinking, whoever is not attended for the previous sessions, those can be go through the previous recording sessions and then be ready. Everything be ready with the tomorrow session. Tomorrow session, what we will do, we will start to create the free trial version Snowflake account, and I will make you to create the Snowflake free trial version of Snowflake account, and start from there our remaining sessions. See, in between, if I start now, then others can able to proceed further. There is a they need to understand the basics. Yes or no, Sanjit?
Yes, sir.
That is what I am thinking. I am thinking to stop the session here itself, and others can go through the remaining recording sessions, so they will be on same page with everyone, so that we will continue tomorrow. What do you say, guys? I will ask one by one. Anusha, make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So Nagesh, you are there? Nagesh, so if you are not able to talk, what I mean to say,
Yeah, okay, Shekhar.
no, what I mean to say, please go through the previous recording sessions and then cover all the things, so that everyone will be the same page. Everyone will be the same page. Tomorrow onwards, we'll start the new concept. From there, so we will go through with the remaining concepts. Make sense? Suresh,
Yes, Shekhar.
fine for you?
Yes, yeah.
Sanjit, fine for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Shall we connect it tomorrow at 7 a.m.? So I don't repeat from tomorrow. I will go with the flow. I will go with the sessions. Okay? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Chalo guys, one more thing. So who is already registered? That's okay. If anyone is not registered, try to get the register with the institute people. They maybe change the link. Okay. Thank you guys. We will meet tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Bye.